You're watching Suck Professor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by...
James.
James! Hey, James, we still got it.
Do we?
Maybe.
If we ever have it.
We may have had it once. Welcome, everybody. Holy fuck, it's us. It's the boys. The boys are back.
I was thinking more, holy crap, Game of Thrones is back.
Game of Thrones is back, yeah. Oh, man. Boy, did I find out this week that Jon Snow is a Targaryen. Somehow I missed that detail.
That glossed over you last season?
My head is even more Swiss cheese than before. Our viewers who have been here before will recognize. But if you're new to the channel, we do shot by shot. So we're going to do a big Game of Thrones Season 8. That's part of this video announcing our Season 8 coverage. Because we've been gone. We just disappeared. We went off the face of, fucking closed down shop or whatever.
Cryosleep.
Cryosleep, yes. James, we froze James's head and we froze my balls. And we're going to unite the two together into a horrifying ball head monster.
And that's how Thanos was born.
Exactly. Right. When only one of the balls had a glove. Right? Okay. So, yes, we're doing Season 8. Boom. It is official. This video's out.
And we're confirmed for Season 9 as well.
Correct. Yes, we're confirmed for Season 9. Also, most of this video will be predictions of Season 8. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, final season.
Of the final season. Like all brilliant YouTube channels, you do a prediction video like a couple of days before the season comes out. we should have done this like a couple days after the end of Season 7.
I think we did something during... I think we did like prior to the discussion of each episode, we predicted what would happen the next time or at the end of each one.
Well, we probably at the end of Season 7, the final episode, I bet we did predictions then or something. But anyway, we should have done more. And also apologies and thanks to everybody who are our fans who reached out to us on Twitter and other ways, and especially our Patreon community. We really let them down. We tried to keep it going for a while, but some things just aren't meant to last, kind of like the Bible.
Wow.
Actually, wait, that's lasted quite much. Fuck. You ever go to a hotel? I mean,
it's
Jesus,
actually not to get off topic, but it's if you think about like the time span of when like ancient Egyptian religions happened to the time span of when Christianity existed. Christianity is like a blip on the radar compared to all these ancient Egyptian mythology.
Yeah,
and that's gone now.
Yeah, no,
totally gone.
Now they're just a bunch of keychains and stuff, like tourist things.
It's really cool.
I heard that. I think Cleopatra was like the pyramids were as further distant to Cleopatra as the Romans were to us.
That's the thing.
The pyramids were like 4, 5.
It's history compression. It's like enough time passes by that we start to think that all these historical figures are like hanging out with one another.
Right.
But no, it's ridiculous. It's like
King Tut and Cleopatra went to prom.
Yeah, it's like people saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, Hank, you lived back in you were born in the 1960s, not 60s, 1980s or 70s or something. Yeah. You must have really been in cahoots with George Washington." Right. You're like, no, I'm not.
And like future generations will look back on this time or they'll compress our years.
Well, that's what I mean, like that.
It'll be like medieval knights wearing Darth Vader helmets.
Oh, you mean like super far?
Yeah. Like jump ahead another 4,000 years. Yeah. After they're like, oh wow, we almost all died from global warming. Okay, so now, see, this is what we do, new people. We ramble.
Off the
rails. We go right off the fucking rails. So, that's okay, though. It's a podcast, really, what we're doing. And hopefully we're going to keep this one. I don't want to do an hour. I want to do like 20 minutes just to go. So, all right. I've been getting caught up on Season 7. I've been watching the whole thing. I started at Season 3. I didn't need to go back to 1 and 2. All right? You know what I think about 1 and 2?
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of setting up the narrative, learning the houses, and learning the names, and learning the different intrigues between the...
But it's a fascinating experience to go through it all again. To see like Qyburn's first appearance. He's in Harrenhal, and he's like beat up by one of those fucking those assholes that are in the world.
And he gets rescued.
He does, yeah. He's rescued by the arrival of, I think, the Lannisters or something. But all this, it's really interesting to rewatch it all, though, and I have been paid fairly close attention. I mean, obviously, I still miss details because my brain sort of works, and just trying to think of a few things that jumped out at me. Like, there's some foreshadowing stuff that you see too. There's one line, I think Sam says it in season 5 or 6, or he talks about Jon Snow. He goes, "Oh, Jon Snow, he always comes back," or he says he always comes back, and I was like, I got that. I know it. So we know that Jon Snow can get killed at the end of every episode, and he'll come back. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like the Beric Dondarrion, the guy who looks like Phil Collins with an eye patch. If Phil Collins got cast in Waterworld.
But it's true. Like you look at Beric's he's back multiple times, and he says he always comes back a little bit less. Like he loses a piece of himself, but he's done it multiple times. Yeah. Which means that Jon Snow, I mean, they can just throw him out in front of the White Walkers. He can just keep respawning. Yeah.
Respawning. Does he have to spend any inventory or spend any loot? What do you spend? Gold or
now, wouldn't that suck
money?
though if he did die, but he respawned without his gear and had to go back to his corpse to get it, so he didn't have his big cloak and his long claw was gone. And
he's naked, but he's got those scars. Those are sexy.
Yeah.
Does he heal? I suppose he's just a regular guy now. He's not like he's frozen in that state.
Yeah, I don't really. I think that if he has any special powers, being the resurrection of the fire god, is that he is Azur Ahai, or what was that?
Azur Ahai.
I think that's it. I mean, I'm probably saying it wrong, but I'm going to get it straight.
The warrior who carried the flaming sword or something like that?
We don't really know if he has any other magical properties about him other than the fact that he came back from the dead.
Right.
I mean, when he meets the Night King, is he going to activate some innate ability within himself to counter the darkness with the light? Who knows?
We'll see. It's called the Song of Ice and Fire.
Now, how cool would it be if he does like a Beric Dondarrion type thing where his Valyrian sword would burst into flames upon seeing or being into a certain proximity with the Night King?
That'd
be cool.
I think we got to have an ice sword or like a blue flame sword versus
an
orange flame.
It's a Song of Fire and Ice. You have to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
And your fire dragon versus your ice dragon, it's obvious. Yeah. It's literal.
Okay, one comment. I said chicks dig, that thing where how they say chicks dig guys with scars. You know what they don't dig? Emotional scars.
I once
describes every fucking third date I've ever been on.
I once heard a comedian say something along the lines of, if emotional scars were visible, then porn would be disgusting.
True. But the eye is in the beholder, or whatever. All right, so will there be a moment, and then we're going to do like specific predictions, although we don't really have this all worked out. We're just kind of rambling. Will there be a moment where a dragon with ice, with blue flame, shoots at or a blue plasma, I don't know what the hell that ice something, into a orange flame dragon, they'll cancel each other out, like when like two like Final Fantasy characters or some
you really should say Dragon Ball Z.
What? Yeah, Dragon Ball Z. There you go.
Yeah, where
like
the one
Harry Potter
who
fights
screams
Voldemort.
the loudest. Yeah, that's another example. Whoever screams the loudest and summons the most energy basically pushes back the energy beam of the other.
Like when my coworkers fight.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you think that'll happen?
I mean, it would be cool to see. It'd be a tad bit cliche, but I'd be okay seeing it because it'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool. No, it'd be a brief moment. They have to. Flying and doing that seems touchy. Like the kind of mechanics of that lining up doesn't really work. Will the other dragons? Because I think it'll be weird to see how the other dragons react to the zombie dragon.
Well, I mean, can you imagine like the two dragons going at it like you predicted, and then suddenly Daenerys riding, the good dragon gets overtaken, and she's about to die, and then at that moment Bran overcomes the Night King and wargs another dragon and pulls him away.
Oh my god,
that'd be pretty cool.
All right, so that's a prediction. I think everybody agrees.
I mean, that's an old hat prediction. All of my predictions today are going to be old hat predictions.
Fair enough.
The ones that people have thought of.
Are you judging my hat?
Yes.
Dude, these are my grandpa's salt stains.
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean,
jerk.
My predictions haven't really changed from last year. It's the things that are pretty much guaranteed to happen. Cleganebowl. I think it's guaranteed that Jaime's going to kill Cersei. Okay. I'm not going to go into details, but just
I want details.
The old stuff.
I'm so excited, James. We're doing it again.
No, the reason I like this is because the ones that you told me already, I don't think there's much likelihood at all of them happening. But I love that because they're more interesting. They're more fun. People probably haven't heard them yet or thought about them yet. So even though I think the likelihood is minuscule, I love hearing them. Right.
Okay, so let's move past the standard ones. Like Cleganebowl.
Absolutely.
The Hound is probably... You think who will win the Cleganebowl?
I think maybe... Okay, it's been foreshadowed forever that, just to kind of go back one step, Jaime killed the Mad King when he started using wildfire, burn them all, and everything.
Yeah.
He sees that in his sister Cersei now. We've seen that, the look in his face, the horror of seeing what she's becoming.
She's already sister.
She's already used the wildfire. She's already lost all her children. Except for the one that she's growing right now. She's got very little to lose. She is clinging to power in King's Landing when multiple armies are coming down on her. She's a desperate creature, cornered, and she'll do basically anything. She's very dangerous at this point.
She's quite dangerous, yes.
So I do think at some point Jaime is going to have to strike her down in the same way that he struck down the Mad King, and in doing so, perhaps the Mountain is going to intervene, lay a fatal blow on Jaime, which is going to cause the Hound to have to jump in, and boom, Cleganebowl.
Boom, Cleganebowl. I predict that Hound wins Cleganebowl by holding the
fire
into fire.
I've thought about that as well,
because that's how he got that wound when he took a toy from his brother.
Exactly.
When my brother took toys from me, you know what I'd do? I'd shoot them with a rifle. I wouldn't
shoot your brothers.
No, I'm not just like something weirdly violent. That's just like what an overreaction. I did threaten my brother with a hammer once, and my dad was around, and this was a mistake. I said, "Don't think I won't like throw it from across the room." For some reason, I had a hammer, and my dad kind of got into my he was like, he which is what you should do to a fucking 8-year-old. You don't threaten with a hammer. I wasn't a violent kid. I don't know. You just children have these moments. I shouldn't put this on the internet. God damn it.
Violent delights that violent ends.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And what else are hammers for?
Yeah,
the only tool you have is a hammer. Every problem solving begins to look like nails.
I learned to throw hammers from Mario. Bowser did it. It was his thing. At the very end, the very last Bowser, he was throwing so many hammers you couldn't even get over his head. It was very daunting.
We all know how that fight goes, James. All right. So, what other super easy predictions are there?
Easy predictions.
Bran warging in
Bran warging into the dragon. That kind of has to happen. He did not.
I think. The dragon. You're saying?
Yes, he did not become the three-eyed raven by accident. He clearly has a connection to the Night King. The Night King has the same innate abilities as the three-eyed raven. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna have to fight over control of the Ice Dragon Viserion.
All right, fair enough. I think Bran's going to warg into other stuff too, which we're going to get to that too as well. But like the giant zombies, there's 3 giant zombies.
What you don't know though at this point is that before Daenerys and Jon Bang, he always wargs into Daenerys.
Oh, okay. You said Jon Bang. I was like, who's Jon Bang? You mean have marital intercourse?
Yes.
You consecrate the sacred vows while God smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I was about to make an appropriate comment.
That would be so messed up.
All right. So, okay. Any other cliche ones?
Cliche ones, obviously the most cliche is Daenerys sitting on the Iron Throne at the very end of it.
Really?
I don't want that to happen. I really don't. I like Jon Snow because Jon Snow wants peace. He wants, threats to be eliminated, but he doesn't want the power. He takes it and he assumes command because he knows he has to. He has to be the focal point of the North, leading the charge against the White Walkers, but it's not what he wants.
He's a reluctant leader, which is actually, I think, ideal as far as anyone who searches for power,
right?
And has so much influence over someone. You don't want someone who's eager to be in charge. You want someone who's like, they're good at it, but they're okay, fine, I'll do it. And then they do. He does kind of like fill his big shoes to fill or whatever. Yeah. But he doesn't know he's a Targaryen.
Well, not yet.
So when he finds out, maybe
do you think there's be a whole episode of just him and Daenerys sitting next to each other, vomiting into the river,
washing their genitals?
Well, that too. Yeah.
I don't think that's how you get rid of the incest. I think once you do it, it's sort of a thing.
Or maybe they can go to Qyburn and he can craft up some.
Yes, I have incest potion.
Incest away.
Incesticide.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Daenerys on the throne. I think there'll be a twist, though. I can't imagine it's going to be predictable. I almost wish it would be banal, or as I used to pronounce that word,
banal.
Got you to swear finally.
That's not a swear.
Oh, fuck.
I want the Iron Throne to be replaced by an iron rowboat and Gendry to be in it.
Yeah. Or by one of those Japanese masturbation robots that use for sperm banks. Do you see those on Twitter this week?
No, I did not.
All right, well, you should be on Twitter more, my friend.
I saw the black hole.
Yeah, pretty much same concept. Thing, yeah. We all got to reproduce somehow. And yeah, I forgot what you said. So
no, the whole thing about Daenerys ascending to the Iron Throne at the very end. I would prefer to see someone else on the throne. Gendry has been around for a reason. They haven't killed him off. He's the last Baratheon who has a blood right to the throne. Daenerys believes that based on her Targaryen blood, she has the birthright to the throne as well. But I like to say that the Mad King, his actions invalidated the family's claim to power.
Okay.
So I don't believe that she has the claim that she claims that she does. And true,
that Daenerys doesn't have.
Yes, it's true that she wants power, she wants to reign, but she also wants to do it in a just manner.
Right.
But I still have very hard time trusting someone who actually seeks out and wants power because they believe that they are entitled to it.
This is true. She's very entitled, but she also did suffer a lot of subjugation in her early formative period when her brother was just selling her off as, like in a way her search for her quest for power is also about righting those wrongs and kind of reaffirming or instituting some kind of justice into this situation. But she clearly is ambitious and narcissistic.
Now what if
you got to be kind of a narcissist to do sit on top of a pyramid Come on.
But what if she said something like, the Targaryens have reigned Westeros for however many different generations. They brought, they were a warlike people. They burned their enemies with dragon fire. They're violent, and they did horrible things. I will put an end to that reign right now. No longer shall the Targaryen name rest upon the Iron Throne. I cede my power to Jon.
I just got goosebumps. I like that.
Could happen.
That makes sense. I noticed neither of us are thinking Cersei's going to hold it.
Cersei has to die. That's the obvious thing to me. She cannot live.
Okay.
If they kill Jorah Mormont, I riot. That dude's been through too much.
What? Just the Greystone? He's had a crush on a woman who's out of his league. What did I say?
You said Greystone.
Greystone? It's pretty close.
You might have Greystones.
They should call
I don't think... Do you think that Sam was scraping down there?
Yeah, did he get his junk done?
I would have left that. I'd be like, you know what?
Oh, could you just hold it up a little bit?
Monsters have their limits.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I'm going to have to go get another pair of gloves. I don't know why. That's my Sam. It'll be interesting how it all... Dorne's role in all this. I don't quite recall. The Sand Snakes are all dead. The Sand Snakes,
not all dead. The mother is watching her daughter die and rot in the cell in King's Landing.
Which is not nice.
Not nice, no.
Nice. Nope. Very against etiquette.
But then again, that Ilaria Sam was the one who did the kiss of death on Cersei's daughter.
That scene, that's funny how Cersei does the exact same with the lipstick, and it's kind of the bright pinky lipstick. You can sort of tell. It's like, why don't you just use like a napkin?
I know.
I had to I was babysitting and I had to put a thing on my nephew, and
it's more dramatic.
Use a fucking applicator pad. Don't kiss her with your own lips. I know she had the
it's more poetic
antidote, but don't trust antidotes.
No.
I mean, they all do because this stuff works. They got it all figured out. All right, so one of my predictions, and I think this one is not necessarily original, but zombie Hodor.
Yeah, I mean
Zodor.
I think that would twist and surprise a lot of people, but I think it would anger people more than it surprised them because Hodor is such a tragic character and he is so beloved.
True. Yes.
That to not give him a peaceful rest after what happened would be just too tragic. But then again, what does George R. R. Martin care about tragic? He
this whole
punches
show
you in the gut all over and over and over.
Yeah, this whole show is about denying fairness, basically. It's the absence of not the absence of justice, but it's the rarity of justice.
But to see someone have to take down Hodor,
well, Bran,
he could warg into him again.
In a way, though, I mean, Bran just fucking used that guy. And just turned him, and he was so desperate he had to do it at the time. I guess you could argue he had no choice, but he took advantage of this poor young man at a young age, and his whole life was leading up to this tragic door moment where he held the door.
Speaking of which,
and actually his new name should be Held Door because it's over now. He doesn't have to do it. But we didn't see him die. We saw him get scraped. We saw some hands. We saw hard scratches. But like I said, when we were talking about it over our James and I eat the same trough of gruel every night, slopping with our hands behind our backs. I said that those horses have half a head, so Hodor doesn't have to be all put together, and he'll be a mighty ferocious force. And then Bran will work it back into him and make him go do stuff for him.
It would be a scene to remember,
Oh God. I would be shocked if there's no zombie Hodor. How could you resist as a storyteller?
I would give that probably a 50-50 chance.
All right. Fair enough.
But do you think there'll ever be a connection between Bran and Bran the Builder, or some sort of weird time parallel type thing where it turns out the Night King is just Bran in the future? And I don't understand how that would work.
James,
it doesn't make sense to me, but
yeah. Well, that's the thing is, so we know Bran can go back and have some influence on the past.
Yeah.
Will that happen again this season?
Did he somehow create the Night King without knowing it?
Why doesn't he have more Hodors? I like your question, though.
Maybe he could create a whole,
I don't think they showed the children stabbing the guy in the chest, and
that guy looked a lot.
His eyes are too close together.
He looked a lot like the Night King. It was probably the same actor who played the Night King, but was it supposed to just be a representative of the first men becoming the White Walkers, or was that legitimately supposed to be interpreted as that being the birth of the Night King?
Oh, I took it as the legit birth of him.
Because remember, and this has been a theory that's been long held for a while, is that the armor that the Night King wears has striking similarities and insignias that relate to the Stark clan.
Oh, okay.
So it is very much believed that the Night King is a Stark.
Okay. Well, the name fits. What's the opposite of Stark?
Naked?
No.
Stark naked?
Stark, the opposite of Stark is sloppy? I don't know. Maybe. I can't really...
I guess in Game of Thrones, the opposite of Stark is alive.
Yeah. is with your head still attached. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. We'll see how it all goes. I do think, though, that there might be a chance Bran will go back and create more comparable Hodors. He needs other tasks done. I mean, so all he has to do is go back into someone's past and turn him into a kid like he did to Willis.
He was horrified when he realized
some guy. So in other words, if there's a guy out there running around going Kildra, 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 means kill dragon, Kildra, Kildra, then you'll know that guy. Yeah, it's fucking Bran's work again. The telltale sign of a psychopath, a time-traveling serial murderer.
But he did that at a time where he wasn't truly aware of his powers. That was sort of like
he was grasping
an experimentation of a child.
Yeah, he was
his first mistake.
Good point.
He's now emotionally dead inside, one would presume, based on his facial expressions and his tone of voice and his interaction with his reunion with Sansa.
Yeah, and he's really into the Cure.
Yeah. He's just going through his emo phase.
Yeah, totally.
But, what can he do now? What is he capable of doing that he could not quite master before? I mean, it's possible.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. So another one I have, I don't remember which episode it was in, but I think someone was describing the Iron Throne, and they talked about how it was forged by Dragonfire. It's a small line, but that made me think, well, since Dragonfire seems to have certain properties, maybe, because I don't know. Is Dragon Glass from Dragonfire, or is this obsidian?
I have to imagine it is.
Obsidian that comes out of the earth, though. Obsidian doesn't necessarily require... It doesn't...
I mean, I would imagine that, when a dragon spits fire on sand, boom, Dragon Glass.
Yeah, possibly, right. Yeah. It seems
but how would that mountain in Dragonstone become filled with it then?
I don't know. Maybe that's part of where the first eggs came about.
Yeah.
So the Iron Throne is forged by Dragonfire, and I'm thinking, well, maybe there'll be a point where they realize there's properties, because Valyrian steel can hurt White Walkers.
Yes, and Dragon Glass. Those are the two confirmed things that will work.
Not that the Iron Throne is Valyrian steel, but does the dragon forging, and maybe they'll break apart the throne. This could be really interesting if you see them disassembling the throne, converting the little bits, because it's all forged together, into arrowheads and spear tips and stuff. I don't actually think this is going to happen.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to break two swords apart and have the two swords be usable. They could melt down the iron and forge new weapons out of it.
That could be it too. But
because otherwise it's totally implausible, because when you forge things together with fire, it becomes part of the same, this welding together. It's like, you can't just separate them at that point. They melt into one another.
You break it. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. All right. So, but we'll see. I don't think that's how Dragonfire works, so with non-magical
I would give that a 3 out of 10.
Whoa, that's pretty generous.
Because I think, I love the fact that you're connecting the magical properties of Dragonfire, imbuing into the iron. I mean, that's so,
but here's
I've not heard that from anyone else.
Oh, all right. Originality is what we do here at
cool.
IGN Network. The counterpoint to that, though, is, so I just watched the episode where the dragons attack Jaime's caravan, and where Bronn and Jaime have a close call with Daenerys after shooting it with the ballista. But this guy's nailing all these dudes, and so he's forging lots of swords and stuff. Maybe it's a different process, so maybe the dragon has his attack fire and then his forge fire, or maybe it has to sit in the fire longer. So you could kind of parse that out and make that a thing. But
I mean, I did like the fact that it showed Dragonfire being so hot that people were turning to ash before they were even dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not before they were dead.
Well, I mean, they were still walking, and their legs were crumbling into ash as they fell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess if your torso is okay, fair enough. All right. Well, okay. All right. So speaking of Dragonfire, what about dragon eggs? Will we see new eggs? Almost as a means of hinting at further series that they'll spin off, because I do believe, this is not a prediction of season 8, but these are capitalist companies that want to make money, and so they have a massively successful property here. And you even said George R.R. Martin wishes this were the last.
Yeah, he says this should not be the last.
But he just wants to stretch it more because there's more to say, not because he has
possibly
more stuff.
I mean, maybe he feels like the conclusion to the show has been rushed in only 6 episodes, which I can't imagine.
It's only 6 episodes.
I believe it's only 6 episodes. I could be totally wrong about that. I have to look at.
Sorry.
I don't want it to only be 6, but
yeah, I want it to be 100.
Yeah.
I want this to never end. But I could see the ending being like, look, we found some dragon eggs, or maybe they got some new eggs, or maybe Daenerys has a word. She goes Dracaro, and then it spits out. Maybe she's got a eggalicious. And then
or she lays an egg with a little Jon Snow in it. A little scaly Jon Snow.
Yeah, she wakes up like holding her belly, going like, "Oh, I got diarrhea." And then she goes in. Tyrion's in there, for some reason, fell asleep drunk on the potty. He leaves, and then she squirts out a few eggs, real dragon eggs.
Yeah.
9
out of 10. That's gonna happen.
Eggs are the symbol of birth, and dragon eggs. Maybe that's how dragons breed. Where do they get their eggs? You got to fertilize it.
Yep.
Right?
I mean, the Dothraki found those eggs and presented them as wedding gifts.
Yeah, who gave... No, right. Khal Drogo gave her the eggs, right?
Yeah.
Or did...
where did they get them from?
Somebody brought her the eggs. One of the...
Yeah, I mean, someone gave them over.
Yeah,
I
they were
don't quite
wedding
recall
gifts.
exactly the origins of them, but they...
That's the scene where she goes, "Ugh, I asked for a serving platter that serves 8.
Yeah, and she even asked for a gift receipt, too.
Yeah, to Target.
Yeah.
Take it back and get one of those bamboo placemats. Okay. So, do you think... Okay, dragon eggs, maybe. I don't know what they'll do with it, but that's a hint at another series.
I mean, I think that they... The reason I say that they won't is because the existence of additional eggs kind of diminishes the importance and the critical nature of there being now only 2 dragons.
Right.
On the side of good versus the little Viserion evil ice dragon.
But
so it keeps the stakes in balance.
It may, though, sort of require, all the kind of elemental pieces of the magic realm have to be aligned in proper alignment, like Mercury in retrograde or whatever, for stuff to happen. So maybe the Mercury in retrograde's factor is they need a Daenerys on the throne, a Targaryen back in power, which then that can enable dragons. Something like that. I'm not saying.
Now, do you think a different dragons could be born?
It's not that causative or correlative, not correlative. Causation.
Yes.
Causative. Causative, is that a word?
Sure.
All right.
Speaking of causative things, do you think a dragon could be born with like acid breath or ice? I mean, we've seen ice and we've seen fire, but do you think? Green, and how disappointing would it be if you got an egg and you paid like a king's ransom for it and you finally get it? And then
soy sauce dragon
was like a confetti dragon. Like, this does me no good.
Little stringers come out.
Yeah.
A silly string dragon.
Yeah, and it can't fly either. Just for the added benefit. Yeah. But it eats a lot. It requires a lot of sheep and stuff.
You just have this house-sized monster that just squirts confetti everywhere.
Drakars.
Yeah. She goes, garden party outlet. But then maybe a career as a children's birthday entertainer.
And that will be the moment where he discovers it's fire.
Yeah.
The first group of children.
And confetti probably burns real quick. So
and after their corpses turn to ash, it just farts out confetti.
Yeah. with a honk noise. Honk! All right, that's fun. That's exciting.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, absolutely. I mean, we don't have a big list here, but okay. Anything else you want to add? I have one really wacky one that
I want to hear it.
But before we get to that, because I think that's our closer. Not that this is that much.
Yeah, I pretty much, like I said, mine are old hat stuff.
Where's Euron Greyjoy going to be involved in? He's going to get killed. I think he's going to get killed. He's just too much of a fucking asshole.
Euron's a piece of crap. Yeah. Theon, though, I think needs to have some sort of either a redeeming death or he needs to carry on in some respect.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But Euron, I could see Theon dying, taking out Euron. And saving Yara.
And when Theon kills him, he'll say, "No, Euron."
Yes.
Call. Notice. You're on notice, buddy.
Sure.
I'm immediately regretting saying that out loud. Fuck.
All right, so urine joke.
Urine. Oh yeah, that's right. Urine. It's funny because it comes out of our weenies and lady weenies,
which is extra awkward for poor Theon if it's said to him.
Right. Yeah. What's it looking like down there? What do you think? Just a little thing? It's got to have like a healed over part, and he still has to be able to evacuate the bladder. It's funny that we all carry around bags of urine in our bodies. That's how weird are animals. All right, here's my big one. It's not even that big. I think I don't actually have a lot of confidence this will happen, but I wouldn't be totally stunned if Shireen, Ed Shireen, with the voice of God's butthole, the voice of an angel, sings his little heart out. No, Shireen, the little daughter of Stannis
the Manus.
Stannis
no
the Manus.
No longer the Manus.
Yep. where one of the more difficult sequences in the whole series is where they burn Shireen and she's screaming, and Davos, of course, freaks out, and he gets the stag that he built or made carved for her, and then he holds it, and then he wants to kill the Red Woman. That was a pretty cool scene, and Jon Snow banishes her to the south and whatever. But so Shireen gets killed in service of the Lord of Light in a fire thing, and it's horrifying. I think she might return via some fire thing. Maybe the Lord of Light is gonna make this Shireen some kind of, not even a bad thing perhaps, but some kind of messenger, or maybe a demon, like
so you're saying like it really demon. Won't be her, but it will take her form because she was sacrificed as a gift to the Lord of Light?
No, because, I hadn't even thought about that.
We got to think about CGI in this case, because the actress that plays Shireen is going to be too old
Well, plus her grayscale has probably spread to the rest of her body. Yeah, it's a real that's a real condition.
Well, no, I mean hers wasn't spreading. Hers had been cured.
I'm saying the actor had the one that did spread. That's why they had to kill her off, because it was starting to spread. You know how like actor like Bran turned into like a 10-foot tall teenager.
Yeah.
No,
It's like whenever you see like a movie where there's an animal who plays a role, there's always like in the credits like 5 different dogs that played the one dog.
Yeah. So they'll have Shireen and then 4 dogs.
Yeah.
But she might come back so emerge out of the flames. Maybe when the Hound is holding Gregor's head into a fire pit, Shireen comes out and goes and starts stomping on his head like what's his face? Fucking who's the guy in Goodfellas?
Joe Pesci?
No, the other guy. Robert De Niro, he kicks him, that really animated kicking that he does, and she starts just pounding on that motherfucking Clegane, because Clegane is a zombie. You have to kill him with fire.
Well, not Sandor Clegane. That's the Hound. Gregor Clegane, yes.
Gregor's, but he's not a white, but he's running on occult magic or whatever. From
Qyburn. I mean, Qyburn doesn't know everything. You saw how enthused he was when he had the still animated arm of the White Walker from King's Landing. He was like, "Ooh, can I keep this?"
Oh yeah, you made a prediction. Good recollection on Qyburn there. You made a prediction that Jaime's hand will zombie its way into this.
Yes,
the
like was it cousin
It?
Not is cousin It the hairy one, or Thing? Is the one,
of course. Yes, so we'll have a hand walking around. Maybe Jaime loses his other hand, and then he gets 2 gold hands, and needs help taking his zipper down.
Or Cersei gets her hand cut off, and we see like hand incest between the 2 hands.
Oh yeah, hand incest. That's what we all do when we hold our
One's
parents'
making
hand.
a little circle, and the other one's like rah, 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 with his pointer.
That's so funny. It's like the little index finger thumb circle, and then the pointer finger. Yeah, that's the world's first sign language invention.
Yep.
The first.
And then they birth a little Joffrey thumb.
Wait, what's the thumb mean? What do you mean?
Well, the little baby, 2 hands bang, what do they have? Maybe a little pinky finger comes out?
No, I think thumb is the only. That's the only logical conclusion.
A thumb baby.
Thumb baby. You can, or like a hand baby. When you draw like eyes on the side of your hand and you tuck your thumb in there. Boy, it could be some crazy stuff.
I think that's the most accurate prediction so far.
All right, so you're saying Gendry's on the throne?
I'm not saying. I want Gendry to be on the throne, but I don't think Gendry's
that's
on the
super
throne.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
You almost have to pick just some out of left field nothing, or not nothing, but some crazy ass idea, because it'd be so shocking if it's Daenerys and Jon hanging out.
I prefer hot pie on the throne to Daenerys.
James, you're funny. You're so funny. Come on. God damn it. I hate it when you're funny. I'm the funny one. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to our episode. Is anything else? Anything jumping out in your head now?
That's pretty much all that's rattling around in my head right now.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm on about episode 3 or 4 for the final season, and then I'm gonna get the Latin recent season, and then getting caught up and feeling good about it. I can't believe Jon's a Targaryen. Who the fuck knew that?
Yeah.
Why didn't anybody tell me? I didn't. You know what it was? It wasn't that I didn't. I do when we just watched the recap, and I recognized those scenes, and so I forget stuff,
Tower of Joy was a huge revelation.
But
people have been predicting it for a
I've
long
always
time,
been
though.
confused about who Lyanna was. That's where I get tripped up, because Ned Stark's racing to rescue Lyanna, and I thought that was Baratheon's girlfriend or something.
Well, Robert Baratheon was infatuated with her. He wanted to be with her.
Okay. So I did get that. Well, what they weren't. She didn't say yes.
No, he wanted to marry her, but then all of a sudden she's kidnapped by Rhaegar Targaryen.
I see.
That's the story. And had Robert Baratheon known that the kidnapping was really them eloping together and being married, then he would most assuredly murder the product of the Targaryen and Stark.
Yeah.
Consummation of marriage.
Yeah.
He would have killed Jon.
You can't mix those two bloodlines.
No.
No.
Because if they did that, then all of a sudden Robert Baratheon's looking at it, is like, okay, well, that's a threat to the throne to me. I have to kill it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ned Stark sacrificed his dignity and his good name to lie and besmirch his own reputation to protect Jon Snow, or should I say Aegon Targaryen?
Aegon Targaryen.
Yeah. Aegon. Yes.
Aegon. Cadbury Schweppes. Sponsorship opportunity.
The whore is pregnant.
That's my Baratheon. I do a decent Baratheon. That one wasn't. I could do better, but I could get a Baratheon.
No, usually you like the boar is because he was killed by a boar.
Yeah. He's
Number 4 with extra queso.
That's him ordering at a Del Taco. But, all right, final prediction. This is just totally. I think they will hint that at the closing credits after the final episode airs, and we're all tearing up and crying, except James because he's incapable of outward emotion. You ever want to hug, James?
Nah.
You ever just a quick one?
No.
Christian side hug, even?
Oh,
Come on, human contact. You know what? You're supposed to touch someone every once in a while. I mean, consensually. All the credits roll, and then Samuel L. Jackson comes out with an eye patch. No, I'm just joking.
What's in your wallet?
Jared is released from prison. The subway guy.
Or he comes walking out with shame
on me. $5 prison. Okay. Electricity. That's my prediction. The next series of Game of Thrones shows will be about when someone figures out electricity. It's really weird that after all this time, there's a lot of smart folks in these lands. There's tinkerers. They build these incredible cities. They build these incredible contraptions. They have all kinds of chemistry and knowledge and even magic knowledge or whatever. No, never got around to figuring out electricity. I don't mean that they'll get up to the point where they'll have lightsabers, but they're like the little sparky sparks. Yeah. There's ways of figuring like static electricity.
It's a suspension
like Qyburn rubbing a fur on a plastic stick, like a physics teacher, and then we see a spark. And now we have electricity dragons.
They do it intentionally, I think, because you introduce things like electricity.
It's such a force of nature.
Or gunpowder or something like that. You fundamentally change the rules of the universe.
That's true, yeah.
And to do that, you're opening a can of worms that makes it that much more difficult to explore in ways that you want to explore and limit the world in ways you want to limit it.
This is true. Yeah, you're right. The constraint of not electricity, like that should have, the whole original title of the show or book should have been The Song of Ice and Fire, but not electricity, like in parentheses. But it would be kind of cool if they did like a Battlestar Galactica sort of thing here, where like they evolve it all towards modern society, but still with this magic shit going on. It would be it'd have to be a very creative fountain of new ideas and stuff to tell that story.
Would you prefer a scene where they're like, I shall send a raven to King's Landing? Or would you prefer as like...
Quick, send an email.
Yeah, it's like, oh, let me go to the telegraph machine. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. What's my Gmail password? God damn it. Recovery? I don't have a recovery phone number.
Tyrion's like, I'm not Hand of the King anymore, but I already have handoftheking@gmail.com.
Hashtag.
I've given it out to dozens of people.
They get social media and they all just have their brains rotted by Twitter, like everybody nowadays.
That's how the White Walkers got about. The whites.
The whites, yeah. So, all right. Well, we went over our predicted time, which is what we do. That's nothing else has changed. Again, thanks for everybody for listening to this right now. Thanks for what we look forward to doing the season with y'all. And also, I just feel I'm gonna apologize forever for letting this channel languish like it has. But it's okay. We had a good run, and now it's sort of just when it makes sense we'll do it, and when it doesn't we won't, because it's a bit too much. I got a job now, working pretty full time. More or less full time, and other projects and things in the works, doing my other podcast, although that's died off, Winners and Losers, that's gone on. I'm gonna bring that back. That's politics. That's a whole different set of me being a rambling maniac. News and politics and stuff, liberal shit mostly, dignity. But season 8 gonna be the best.
It better be.
Well, I fucking hope so.
It finally will give so many people a reason to cancel HBO.
Cancel HBO?
I mean, I've got nothing left in HBO that keeps me around.
What?
I don't watch anything else.
You've obviously not been tuning in to high maintenance.
No, I
haven't watched that one yet.
But once this is over, I think I'm done.
Westworld.
Well, I mean, if it comes back, I'll pick it up again.
Jon Stewart or John Oliver, the British Jon Stewart.
They put all his stuff on YouTube for free.
That's true. Yeah, the good part. At least, the 20-minute chunk. Who cares about the closing credits where they paid somebody to build an 8-foot model of a Pez dispenser?
Or a giant hand pushing a giant button.
Yeah. Wow, you have a budget. Nice. Real funny. You're spending money. Recycle, fuckface. Yeah, I agree. There's HBO's. Come on, HBO, man. And by the way, we do this stuff, the copyright thing. Hopefully, they're just as cool about it as they've always been.
Yeah, that's where we were. We were in jail.
Yeah, we've been in prison.
We've learned nothing. We've gotten out. We're gonna do it again.
What are you in for? Copyright violation for my shot by shot.
Was it worth the 30 cents?
We lose the monetization. They always take the monetization. I think a few of them have been monetized and made some money or something. But like, that's not the point of this though. Yeah. And they should take the monetization. It's fine. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's not.
We're not doing this for money.
Yeah, no, those are our pictures.
Yeah. I drew them all myself.
All right, well, this is wonderful. I'm so excited. You can tell because I won't stop talking and I want to keep going. But we're going to pick it up on Sunday, and I'll try to get everything up soon. Monday, I do have a job now, so I got to get that shit done. There won't be as much animation. I did have this whole plan. I wanted to have Gendry rowing us around in a boat and wanted to draw a Hot Pies wolf bread. Mm-hmm. But, Nymeria. Will Nymeria make an appearance? Arya's dog. She meets him in season 7.
I know. I feel like they've kind of already reconciled, and there was a poignant moment between the two, saying like, "You're now, I'm a lone wolf. You have your pack. I'm going back to my pack, the Stark family in Winterfell. You stay with your pack. We're no longer part of the same group."
Is she the last wolf that's alive?
I believe so.
Ghost is dead. Summer's dead. Shaggy Dog is dead.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall are dead.
Yeah.
James Taylor is alive, though.
I wouldn't have known that. I think Nymeria will return. That'll be our big disagreement. All right, Nymeria comes back because it'll be like a rawr out of nowhere, and the wolf pack will fuck up some farmers or some I don't know, some Dothraki dudes fighting a bunch of wolf dogs.
Daenerys gets on the throne, the wolf rips her throat out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what wolves
eggs
do.
Come falling out of her throat hole.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll egg y'all. I don't know what I was going to go with egg y'all later. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening, watching. And James, thank you so much. This has been a real treat. Mm-hmm. Can't wait. Season 8. Hiya!